Mom, hey everyone, just a quick update. Grandma isn't feeling great. We've decided to cancel Christmas this year. No traveling, just keeping it quiet. She needs rest. The messages came in fast after that. Dad, yeah, probably for the best. Sarah, her older sister, totally agree. Let's keep it chill this year. Maybe just a video call. Emily stared at the screen, blinking. Christmas. Cancelled. She quickly typed, Emily, is she okay? Should I come visit earlier? A minute passed. Then 5, the reply came from Sarah. Sarah, no need, Em. She's just really tired lately. Don't want to overwhelm her. Emily didn't press further. It felt off, but maybe they were right. Grandma was getting older. Maybe she truly needed rest. Still, that night, Emily sat with a small knot in her chest. Christmas had always been their thing. She and Grandma had a tradition, a peppermint tea and puzzle marathon every Christmas Eve, ever since Emily was 6. It had outlived high school crushes, college breakups, and job relocations. Just 1 year, she whispered to herself, next year will be different. The days slipped by. She decorated her small one-bedroom apartment with a few simple lights and a tiny artificial tree. She hung a single ornament one grandma had given her as a child, a porcelain angel with golden wings and a crooked smile. Emily tried to stay festive. She made sugar cookies, watched Love Actually for the 50th time, and even sent out a few hand-written holiday cards. But nothing could mask the echo of silence from her family. Calls were short. Conversations felt rehearsed. When she asked if Grandma was doing better, the answers were vague. She's resting. She's not up for talking. She's not really herself these days. Something wasn't right. Grandma was many things, kind, stubborn, sharp, but she was never one to stay silent, especially not with Emily. Still, Christmas Eve came. Emily made herself peppermint tea, lit a cinnamon candle, and sat alone with a half-finished jigsaw puzzle. She stared at the pieces, tears prickling her eyes. It wasn't the absence of presents or music or snow that hurt. It was the lie she was starting to taste but couldn't yet name. She was scrolling through Instagram later that night mindlessly. When the photo appeared, she nearly dropped her phone. It was a candid shot, probably meant to be a private story, but someone had posted it publicly. Her sister Sarah, in a velvet green dress, laughing with a glass of wine. Her parents behind her, wearing matching Christmas sweaters. Cousins, uncles, even Grandma smiling, sitting upright in her favorite armchair, wearing the pearl necklace she saved for special occasions. Emily's heart stopped. In Sarah's hands was a large envelope tied with a red satin ribbon, a caption added in loopy handwriting, Christmas blessings heart with ribbon family first, always dizzy. The knot in Emily's chest exploded into a firestorm. Her head swirled. Why had they told her Christmas was cancelled? Why had they said Grandma was too weak to see anyone? Why had they lied? She didn't sleep that night. She stared at the ceiling, a hollow ache crawling through her chest like frost under a closed door. By morning, she had called her mom, no answer, then Sarah, straight to voicemail. She tried Grandma's number, but it rang and rang before cutting off. Then came a text from Sarah. Sorry, Em, things got complicated. We'll explain soon. Hope you had a relaxing Christmas. Read. It felt like a slap in the face. Not just the betrayal, but the way they packaged it in warmth, in polite lies, as if she were too fragile or too far to be worth the truth. Emily opened the dusty old photo album she kept under her coffee table. Pages and pages of Christmases past, laughing with her sister in matching pajamas, baking cookies with Grandma, their hands covered in flour. Her throat tightened. Somewhere between those pages and that fake group text, something had changed. And for the first time in her life, Emily wondered if her family ever really saw her, or if they only saw the space she left behind when she was gone. She didn't ask questions anymore, didn't chase explanations, She knew deep down that the silence following betrayal was often louder than any apology. But one thing lingered, that envelope Sarah was holding, the way Grandma looked at her like she was handing her something sacred. A gift, a letter, an inheritance. The thought came uninvited, but it settled in her mind like unwelcome company. What if this whole elaborate lie, the fake cancellation, the vague messages, the orchestrated silence wasn't just about protecting Grandma's peace? What if it was about making sure Emily wasn't there to receive something she deserved? And then came the memory of Grandma's words just a few months ago during a phone call. If anything happens to me, Em, just know I've left a little something for you. You've always been my heart. Emily had dismissed it at the time, brushing it off as sentimental talk. But now, those words felt heavy. Real, stolen. By New Year's Eve, the snow had begun to melt, but Emily's resolve had hardened. She wasn't going to storm into their lives demanding answers. She wasn't going to play the wounded daughter, begging for scraps of love or truth. No, Emily was going to do something far more powerful. She would find the truth herself, and when she did, she wouldn't just take back what was hers. She'd make sure they knew she never needed them to define her worth. Because this wasn't just about Christmas anymore. It was about betrayal, about family, about rewriting a story that had always cast her as the afterthought. And now she was ready to become the main character. It's a hum, constant and sharp, like a buzzing wire behind the drywall of your soul. Emily heard it in every moment she spent alone that January, in her cold kitchen while pouring coffee, in the echoing subway ride to work, and worst of all, in her dreams, where Christmases passed, replayed like a movie she no longer had a part in. She hadn't spoken to her family since that blurry Instagram photo revealed the truth. No one had offered a real explanation, and Emily didn't ask. She knew something had happened, something intentional. They hadn't just forgotten to invite her, they had erased her, but why? The answer came slowly, bit by bit. On January 3rd, she finally called Grandma. No one picked up. She hesitated, then left a voicemail. "Hi Grandma, it's me, Emily. I just wanted to check in. I hope you're feeling better. I know you probably had company during the holidays. I saw the picture. I just wanted to hear your voice." She hung up, heart pounding. She didn't expect a response. But 3 days later, Grandma called back. Her voice was soft but clear. "Emily, sweetheart, I didn't think you wanted to come." Emily froze. "What?" Grandma sighed. "Sarah told me you had a work emergency, that you couldn't make the trip. She said you sent your love, though." "Work emergency?" Emily hadn't said anything of the sort. She sat down on the edge of her bed, trying to stay calm. "Grandma, I didn't even know you were celebrating. They told me Christmas was cancelled, that you weren't well enough to have visitors." There was a pause on the line. And then, quietly, Grandma said, "Oh, just that. Oh." Over tea and trembling hearts, Emily visited Grandma the following weekend. She drove the 4 hours in silence, snow crunching under her tires. Her hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Would Grandma believe her? Would she even remember? When she arrived, Grandma was surprised but delighted. They sat in her sunlit living room, the fireplace crackling, untouched puzzle boxes stacked in a corner. No one else was there. Sarah had gone back to the city. The others had scattered. "Why didn't you call me yourself, Grandma?" Emily asked gently. I was told you were busy," Grandma said. "I didn't want to bother you, and She hesitated, looking away. "I thought maybe you didn't want to come this year." Emily swallowed. "That's not true. I missed you." Grandma reached for her hand and squeezed it. Her grip was frail but full of love. "I missed you too." They sat in silence for a while. Then Emily asked the question that had haunted her since Christmas Eve. What was in the envelope Sarah opened that night? Her grandmother looked down at her lap.